sit down and just talk to Coach Bowden about issues I was having at home with the family. You know, he was giving me examples, I would say, of things that he did with Tommy and Terry. And I used to just take those examples, but I built a relationship and confidence in really listening to Coach Bowden. So that was big then, but also working with Charlie my freshman year, you know, that was different. You know, we have a high school trophy candidate not there, people knocking on the door wanting his autograph, and I was putting signs on the door, Charlie ain't home. It's just, you know, all those memories, those things that, you know, what's happening. I mean, those are things that I cherish, because those are things that I can definitely reflect on.
Charlie, what are you most grateful for about your career at Florida State?
Well, just being able to develop a lot of great relationships. As we can see here today, there's a lot of FSU alum here, and a lot of my teammates, a few of my teammates are here as well. And so just being able to develop great relationships over those years. There are a lot of memories that we've been able to accomplish together, and one being able to win a national championship, which is the ultimate goal when you come to Florida State or go to college. Everyone wants to win a championship, so that was a great memory.
Well, I heard a rumor that while you guys were roommates at Florida State, things got a little loud. You guys were pretty boisterous in the dorm room. I want to know who talked the most for real.
Well, it's hard to say.
I did a lot of listening. I'll just say that. Due to the times, because Warrick needed that year for someone to listen, and so I was probably the best roommate to have, because I would sit there and listen to him, but we had some great talks, and I was just grateful to be able to have Warrick as a roommate. A lot of people made it a big deal because it was a senior room, we were freshmen, but it's just the kindred spirit. The reason why we roomed was the reason why we were able to be great roommates, because he needed me and I needed him in a lot of ways, and so we had a lot of great memories together, flying on planes back to Baton Rouge to see his family. So all those were great memories, and he also hooked me up with an 800 number for me to be able to get a toll-free call back to my lovely wife now. My girlfriend at the time, but Warrick had all the hookups, and so I was grateful for her.
I was a hustler, I'm still a hustler. But I would say, you know, going back to one thing that I respect about Charlie so much is that when I'm sitting in a room going through a lot of being away from my family back home and trying to parent the 5 younger ones, there's a lot of issues going on. That's one of the reasons that I've been with Coach Bowden. But when I was in the dorm and I'm able to talk with Charlie and really express myself and get emotional and cry, this is somebody that I love and respect because he never judged me. The conversations that happened in that dorm stayed in the dorm, and that's that's one of the greatest things that I cherish, is that he was there for me, he supported me, and even off the field, on the field, he pushed me and got me, but off the field, he's just he was an amazing, roommate, friend, big brother. So I love and respect him for sure.
Awesome. Well, I want to switch gears real quick. I want to talk about the state of sports right now and athletes these days. Things are a lot different than when you guys were in school. What's one thing maybe that you think is lacking with student athletes? What's something that they're missing that they could really use from back in the day?
I'll say boundaries.
I said they don't love the game. When we played, we loved the game. I mean, I came to Florida State because They had a lot of other great players, and I wanted to compete. And I just grew up proving, not being the biggest person, that I always had to prove and show up and do extra work and work out and all those things, just to show that I can play at this level and play with the best. And today I just think it's more about money instead of the love of the game.
The reason I said boundaries is because when there are boundaries, that means that there's some type of conviction that you have to step across those boundaries. In our day and age, everything is a go. Like, if I want to do this, I can do this. And those boundaries are endless. And so sometimes it's okay to have some conviction about stepping across the line. But I just think we have a lot of options. And when you have a lot of options, you have a lot of confusion. And then when you make a decision, one of my biggest things when I speak a lot, I talk about our choices. When we make choices, we have to be willing to live the consequences. And so when we start talking about all the different options that student athletes have today, I wish we had a few of them, like NIL. There have been a lot of people, I'm sure, we had a great opportunity.
I gotta get that back pay.
Well, I want to go back to the video. Tremendous catch, great way to end a season. You guys went on to 1993 to become champions. I was there in Miami with probably the worst obstructed view ticket I could purchase for $15 outside the stadium, but I was there to witness that. I want to know, honestly, you guys, you may have to discuss this before you give the answer, but who led that team? Who was the leader?
I would say, one, we all listen to Coach Bow, but Charlie was our leader. We followed Charlie. I mean, he showed a commitment, a work ethic, sacrifice, and all the things that he had going on. We followed him, but we played together as a team. It wasn't one individual. We played together, we challenged each other, and we relied on each other. Defense had to do their part, offense had to do their part, special teams played a big part in it as well. So it was more team. But you have guys like Charlie who, really just took it another level. When we need to make a play or things happen, he was in the right place at the right time. So,
Go ahead, Charles. Well, in life we all have a why. You have a why for why you do everything you do, why you chose your job, why you handle certain situations the way you do. And Warrick, you do so much outside of the game for families around the country. Your Warrick Dunn Foundation, Charities Foundation. What is the why for your foundation?
Well, my why started off with my mom's why. She wanted to own her own home, and being the oldest, having these adult conversations, at an early age, I understood the struggles, that she couldn't afford a down payment, she couldn't afford furniture. We were renting, and we stayed at places around Baton Rouge sometimes because it was rent-free. She's a police officer, and she was the security. So we were just really figuring out ways to get by. And I went to like 6, 7 schools just growing up because we just kept moving a lot. And I just knew she wanted a place that we could call home, a place that we could grow up and have memories. And my why really started because of with my mom. So the things that I've done over the years, I really just tried to live through other single mothers in the beginning, but now we help single fathers as well. Try to live through single parent families and help them create that stability, because it's not about the parents anymore. It's really about how do we create that stability and solve a lot of society issues for the kids a long time. And for me, that's really my why of just going out and helping other parents create that stability so that their kids, perform better in school, much more engaged in their community, giving back. So it's really, that's where it started for me. And everything that I've experienced, I've tried to incorporate that into my charity and with the support services. So we had a financial literacy class, Power Your Future, where we tell families, if you invest in yourself, we will invest in you. We started a savings account. I have Scopus, the overall brain of health and wellness, where we talk about physical health, families get biometrics, growing vegetables, growing your food in your backyard, cooking healthy meals, mental health, named after my mom, Betty's Hope, where we want to be able to support individuals because I didn't go to counseling, honestly, until 10 years after my mom's passing, and I didn't realize how much I suppressed so much in college, but also in the pros, that I suppressed so much that, that really affected me in my engagement, because Charlie will tell you, and most of my teammates will tell you when I was here, I didn't really talk to a lot of people, I didn't go out, I didn't party, I just football, school, and when I have a free weekend, I got on the highway and drove back to Baton Rouge. So I really just try to support families and do things in the community that when I had issues, I just try to live through that.
Well, I want to ask you, I kind of want to get a little bit more serious because to me it's maybe the hardest, most impressive thing that you've ever done in your life. I get emotional just thinking about it. Mental health is a big topic these days. You chose, somehow, you mustered the courage to show forgiveness, and you opened your heart to the people who killed your mom. And I don't want you to take me through the process of how do you get to that step? It can't be easy.
No, it can't be, and I didn't really go down the mental health route until 2003 when I left Tampa and went to Atlanta, and just listening to a teammate tell a story about a guy going to counseling to catch a ball. And I was like, I can play football in my sleep. I don't know why he's going to counseling. And I thought that was kind of crazy. But, I called a friend later that night and said, what do you think about this? I haven't done this. And so I started going to counseling. The first time I ever walked into the counselor's office, and I sat down, and she asked me one question, and I just started crying. And I cried for like 45 minutes, 50 minutes. And then I went back to counseling for the next 9 months to a year, and I didn't tell any of my teammates at all. But the next year, they could actually see a change in me because now I was actually talking with my teammates and engaging and laughing and doing these things. And I got to the point to where, I didn't care what anyone thought about, I came out and talked about going to counseling because I saw how having someone that you can confide in, someone that is giving you directions and helping guide you in your life, that, this is making me a better person overall and much more engaging. So I wanted to not care what anyone else had to say. It's like, hey, I want to come out and talk about, I started going to counseling in 2009, and I just feel like if I'm going to write a book, I'm going to tell my story. So to get to the point that I actually asked my counselor, do you think I'm in a position where I can go and actually talk to the guy who shot and killed my mom? And she said that I think you're in a really good space, you're balanced. And once she said yes, I went back and I called Don and everybody, and we arranged it to go to Angola prison in Louisiana. And going there, I had my pops in the car, Choo Choo. And I think Don was probably more nervous than I was. He was, because he didn't really know what to expect. And just traveling there, going there, and then once we got to Angola prison, the warden was like, oh, he's not going to tell you the truth. And he's not going to admit that he did it. And I was just like, well, it doesn't matter. I just have to get some things off my chest. And when I went into the room and sat down and we were actually sitting around a table just like this, no bars. He's sitting across from us, and he came in. The first thing he said when he sat down is that I didn't do it. And I just listened to him. And I said, you know what, it doesn't matter. I came here to tell you that I forgive you, because, you know, I need to take control of my life back, because this person has so much power over my life that I didn't want him to continue to, you know, guide my path, my journey. And I wanted to also express the impact that he had on my brothers and sisters. So they had things they wanted me to share, and I shared that as well. So I just felt so much better and relieved after actually going and getting that off my chest, because now I felt free and I could just move forward in my life. And, you know, not anything in the past with my mom still hold me back.
So before we get out of here, that's the kind of grace that God showed us by dying on the cross and giving his life for us so that we could be free. This guy gave the same forgiveness to that guy. That's a hard thing to do. One more round of applause for this guy right here. Now, Don, don't be embarrassed. But before we get out of here, I want you to tell us a really good story about Don. Because he hung out with you for a long time, getting the book done and all that. And I know there's a good Don Yeager story in there somewhere.
I love Don too much. I can't. I'm going to protect him.
Oh, no, we need one. We need a good one.
Is it because his wife is sitting there?
Well, you know, she's beautiful. Well, he would text me out the blue. She wants me to come give her a hug, so I'll give her a hug. So now Don, you know, we've stayed connected all these years, and we didn't just write a book together. I mean, we developed a relationship. We trust each other, and, you know, he supported me, you know, way past just writing a book. And that journey, I think for me, that was the beginning of a, you know, everlasting relationship that we have. And my family loves him as well, so we do appreciate it.
Charlie, I'm going to ask, can you connect me with Don? I need to get in his portfolio. We got Dion, we got Warrick, we got all these other people. Can I get in that? Can you help me out?
Sure, big brother.
Well, Charlie, I can't get you into Don's portfolio, but I can recommend somebody who cuts your grass for you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Charlie Ward. Warrick Dunn.